New Birth Dance Ministry presents 2018 dance concert under the theme God Loves Movement on Friday, April 27th, 2018 at the New Birth Gospel Tabernacle on the Island Main Road in Cayon. Start time is 7:15 p.m. Admission, adults $20, children $10. MCs Sister Marsha from Sugar City 90.3 and Evangelist Jerry. Also featuring performances from Tehila and Nikwan. April 27th at 7:15 p.m. Mark the date. Don't be late. Caribbean leaders have commended British Prime Minister Theresa May for apologizing for the Windrush saga and for committing to bring redress to those affected. Children of Windrush immigrants, Caribbean nationals who before 1978 migrated to the UK in search for a better life, were suddenly, over recent weeks, being deported to the countries of their birth. Many of them have never been to the Caribbean, and despite spending years in Britain building their lives, their livelihoods and family, they are now left with nothing to show for it.
How much we value the contribution that has been made by Commonwealth citizens who've made their life here in the UK to the United Kingdom. I particularly want to acknowledge that as we come together and celebrate the Commonwealth and the ties between us and the connections between us at Shotton. And particularly the Windrush generation helped to build the country that we are today. And I want to dispel any impression that my government is in some sense clamping down on Commonwealth citizens, particularly those in the Caribbean who built a life here. I take this issue very seriously. The Home Secretary apologised to the House of Commons yesterday for any anxiety caused, and I want to apologise to you today.
The St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris, who is in the UK, where the leaders of the Commonwealth countries are meeting, commended the British Prime Minister for her apology and commitment to fix the problem.
It is regrettable that the circumstance which we now find ourselves was allowed to get to this far. But nonetheless, we want to consecrate the future, and we hope that these troubling issues that are impacting the migrant population would not surface again.
To give a perspective on this matter, here is a little background to Windrush.
2018 marks 70 years since HMT Empire Windrush docked in the Essex town of Tilbury, carrying 492 Caribbean passengers. Encouraged by a newspaper advertisement offering cheap transport, hundreds of Jamaicans made the trip to the country they had fought for in the Second World War in the hope of finding work. The UK faced a labour shortage following the devastation wrought by the war, and the passing of the British Nationality Act in 1948 gave Caribbean and other Commonwealth peoples British citizenship and full rights of entry and settlement. The images of West Indians disembarking the Windrush have come to symbolise the beginning of British multiculturalism, with those who arrived in the UK in the late 1940s often referred to as the Windrush generation. This wave of newcomers faced social and economic exclusion upon arrival and were regularly denied private employment and accommodation on the basis of race. Over the following years, the Caribbean community often faced racial prejudice and violence, and during the 1960s and 1970s, the government passed new legislation to impose stricter immigration controls. The 1971 Immigration Act restricted primary immigration to the UK, but allowed Commonwealth citizens already in the country indefinite leave to remain. However, the Home Office did not issue paperwork confirming the status of those who arrived before 1971, leaving a number of the Windrush generation in 2018 facing the prospect of deportation from the country they have called home for decades.
All the Caribbean leaders, including the Jamaican and Antiguan Prime Minister, have welcomed the decision by Prime Minister Theresa May. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.